Welcome back to my channel. She is here, the new Return of the Living Dead doll's Sin in all her demonic glory. Now, I received her while I was away at work. I came home yesterday and I did unbox her just to fix the problem that I had with Damien when I first received him, in that he, which I had on the video, his scalp kept dropping, and that's because there was this plastic thing in his head that was holding the eyeballs. Something that didn't happen with Sadie. Like, Sadie was perfect right out of the box. I didn't have any of those issues. So Sin had the same thing. So I want to fix that before doing my video, so I can really concentrate on her. I feel like this version of Sin had a mixed reaction from fans and maybe some casuals. She doesn't have an aesthetic pleasing face like Sadie and Damien has. So I really want to get into that and compare it to her other versions that I own. The one version I'm not going to show because I don't want it to be too long of a video is her celebration of 13-year anniversary doll, which I talked about with Sadie's version in another video. But without further ado, let's get into Sin. So the first thing to let you know with Sin is that her eyes appear looking up. So when I was trying to fix the eyes, I was trying to bring them down. So I brought them down as much as I could. But her eyes are further looking up when you get her in the packaging. She comes with these horns, the horn faceplate. Okay, so here's a picture of the artwork in the back of the box. I just want to look right here. Again, I wasn't a fan of her face initially, but I just felt like they had to distinguish her from Sadie because over the many iterations of both Sadie and Sin, they really kind of were the inversions of each other. Just a difference in the color scheme of their outfit. She's red, Sadie's black and white. Of course, Sin has the distinction of having the horns, the devil's tail, but mostly they did look alike. So I understand why they had to add like the ridges to her face, which again a lot of people did not like. So before we go into her, we are going to go into her accessories. And once again, I apologize. I'm not going to show the switching of the different plates because I had such trouble fixing her. My husband had to do it, and I just hated that it was just so difficult to, put the face back on. So here are her accessories. Okay, I'm going to take off the plastic. Here. Okay, let's start with the obvious, which is the faceplate. This gnarly demon horns and this teeth. Now I have to say, out of all of the dolls they came out with so far, I felt Sin was the most ambitious in terms of really leaning into the overall demonic aspect of her. She wasn't this little cute little devil girl. I mean, she is, but they want to amp that even more. So now that's playing to exclusively adult collectors, because let's face it, no one's buying these dolls at the age of 12 at $120 a pop. It's for us adults. So here she has these horns, which is attached to the faceplate. Same thing with Sin. Interesting thing to know, if you are deciding to buy Sin thinking you can change her plate with Sadie's, they do not match in skin tone. So I just brought out my Sadie and Sin. Sin has a very different complexion compared to Sadie. Sadie's a little more tanned. And you see, even first glance, definitely different. They went out their way to make them look different. Okay, but we'll get back to Sadie in a moment. So the faceplates do not align. One really cool feature I love of the new design of Sin is the elf ears. I think they're so cute. So this is another reason why the Sadie faceplate doesn't line up. Again, it's a different mold. So if you think you can buy Sin and just change her plate and just, have Sadie's face on this body, I hate to break it to you, that's not going to happen. One Living Dead doll fan, she actually shaved down the brow. So she actually buffed it out. You can do that, but remember, these are $120 dolls. I personally won't do that. I accept her as she is. I actually grew accustomed to her face. So if you're a particular age like myself, fans who were 90s teens, like myself, their first reaction to Sin's face was that she looks like the vampires from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So here's a picture of what that looks like. And she does look like that. She does remind me of that. I think that's why I like her face. That's why I've grown accustomed to her face. But anyway, let me go back to her accessories. So she has that faceplate. Here she has the signature pitchfork. Now the pitchfork has been a part of Sin since her first iteration from 2000, Series 1. But it was missing from her Resurrection release, which I thought was really weird. Instead, they gave her like this demonic cat, which I thought was really dumb. So they didn't give her a pitchfork in her Resurrection. And it's really nice. A little point at the end. Okay. So there's that. And of course, I didn't change her hands yet. So these are the hands she comes with, open palm. So again, she comes with the cupping hand to hold said pitchfork. She comes with, I guess, another type of cup hand. But my favorite hand of all the releases are these rock metal hands. I love these hands. So cool. She comes with 2 of them. So you can do it with both hands. I'm actually going to give her one of these so she can hold her pitchfork. Because she has to hold her pitchfork. So these are her eyes, which is all red. Which, if you compare it to her other releases, like this one, for example, her Resurrection, she has a little bit of red in those eyes. Right there. And this is the 20th anniversary one. Right here. Oh, sorry, that's her pitchfork in the way. So she has all red there. I really love this one. I would have loved those eyes as an option. But nope, it's all red. Just like Damien's is all white. Okay. Now she comes with this flaming crown. Now, it actually sits nicely between the horns. These horns. Like you could position it. Like it balances somehow. And for this one, she just has flames on her head. But to get the slight levitation, you can situate it to float. Like that. Okay? I'm debating if I'm going to pose her with that flame. I'm not sure. Another cool thing she comes with is her own flaming pedestal. Now, I was a little confused how she was able to stand on it because there's no peg holes from the pictures other collectors have shared. So basically, she would stand on top of it. Let me take her out for. Whoop. There goes that scalp again. Okay. All right. Well, sorry about that. She had her hair fall off again. So I posed her on the stand. So she stands really well on it. I don't know how dynamic you could do the poses, and you have to definitely have a sturdy surface. So I think it's cute. I'm not sure how I'm going to pose her in terms of am I going to have her on this with a stand. I don't trust it enough because again, these are $120 dolls. I would hate for her to fall face forward, chip her horn, break her face. So, but there's an option to pose her, which I think is really cool, really unique. And the last accessory is this cute cloak, which has a little bit of a wire so you can pose it. Okay. I think the cloaks that they made for Sin probably is what gave them the idea to give it for Posey. Not sure it's going to be the same material, but it's really nice. And I put the cape on. I didn't do the best job with the bow, but it's cute. Would I pose her with it? No, I don't think she needs it. But again, I just felt like with Sin, I think they really went all out for her. It's very ambitious. I still stand by that. So I do appreciate it. So I'm going to change out her hand so she can hold her pitchfork. So here she is with her pitchfork and her rocking hand. I love that rocking hand. I think, like I said, it's my favorite hand, a set of hands all these dolls have. So let me go into her outfit and her shoes more now that we have the accessories out of the way. So what I love about the dress, it's what they call a skater style dress, and it's really nice. I think it's so cute. It has a little 6'6" here. Okay, and she has these cute Mary Janes. Now, the big difference with these Mary Janes, they have a very subtle, probably controversial. I'm going to hold her upside down. Hopefully the scalp doesn't fall out again. So the shoes, actually, let me just take one off. So the shoes have a cross on them. Now, it's meant to be an upside down cross, and that's what these are. So, again, leaning into the demonic side of Sin, but it's done so innocuously that you could hardly tell. You have to really look close at the shoe. But it's, again, a completely different style of shoe than Sadie's. She comes with these ruffled socks that has a little red trimming. So cute. And like I said, I think with Sin, very ambitious take on her character. Really playing into the adult collectors who will be buying her. Of the 3 dolls, I noticed she didn't go on wait list like Sadie and Damien and even Posey on Mezco.com. So I just feel like the face, both versions of her face is a lot can be a lot for some people. For me, as a Living Dead doll collector, I have to admit, I wasn't always a fan of the more intense faces. They have faces that they're missing their eyes. They have faces that they're screaming at you. Tor face on the side, like Dawn, for example. And I just eventually, like I said, you grow accustomed to the designs, and I felt like I had to complete them, especially the series run dolls, series 1 to 35. And I felt the series are incomplete without all the dolls. So that's why I changed my mind. And with Sin, I had to get her. She's part of the Fab Five. One thing to know about Sin's hair, it comes out crimped, which I don't know why I didn't notice that in the promos. Also in the packaging, for some reason, so it's kind of split. The hair's like right here. I didn't like that, so I just kept it like that. Just the hair behind the horns. I wish there was a way you could show the ears. I really love these ears, these cute little elf ears. Oh, and I almost forgot, she does come with her tail. Now, I wish the tail was bendable, or at least I can move it, but you can't, so it's stationary, so please don't try so hard with the tail. Remember, $120 doll. I don't know if you can if you could pull it out. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to attempt it. I don't think you can. But I think again, I think overall, I think she's really well done. I know I had my complaints with Damien. I had my complaints with Eggy too. But I feel like Sin was just as well executed as Sadie is, and I just think she's just really cute. Again, yes, not everyone's gonna love the ridges on her face, or goodness gracious, this one. But again, there's a beauty to her. I just really love it. And again, as a 90s teen that I was back in the day, I did love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I get vibes of Drusilla from Buffy. That's what she reminds me of. She reminds me of Drusilla. And again, if you watch the show, or if you're interested, just Google Buffy the Vampire Slayer Drusilla. I mean, she was great. She was actually one of my favorite characters on that show. But I just think this Sin is really cute. And, in comparison with her fellow Sins, I think they did a great job capturing the original. You see the little tape holding her pitchfork, which unfortunately over years got warped and is disintegrating the not tape, rubber band holding it together, so I had to replace it. And again, they kept her design simple. There's her little tail, stationary. Again, her shoes, which very similar to this style of shoe, but again, they didn't play up the demonic aspect. It's like flowery for Sin. So again, very cutesy devil, sort of like when a child dresses up as the devil for Halloween. It's very innocent. I love this particular Sin from the 20th anniversary. So pretty. I just thought she was stunning. And again, her dress, black and red. Sadie's is black and white. And one thing about Sadie and Sin, that when they do releases of them, the material of the dress also differs. Like hers is more felt. Sadie's was more of a cotton dress. Here, it feels the same. It feels like the same velvet. Unfortunately, I couldn't leave her on the stand. She was starting to wobble a bit, and I didn't want her to fall on camera because of the pitchfork. Don't want to forget to show the death certificate, which was folded in her cape. I'll just show that to you in a moment. So here's her death certificate. If you want to pause and read it. The thing about these death certificates, with the exception of Sadie, I really hate how they hide the death certificate. Because it didn't come with a tombstone. I know I've said this enough, but the fact that the death certificates are not revealed in a cool way within the doll packaging, that's what I feel like is unfortunate. With Living Dead dolls, they were, they had a ribbon. It was attached to the box. I just feel like it's kind of just thrown in there, mixed in with the accessories. I mean, Damien's, he had his death certificate between his books. And Eggy, hers was in the basket. But with Sin, it was just folded in her cape. So I'm assuming because Posey comes with a cape, that's where you're going to find the death certificate. But, like I said, I just think they did a great job with Sin. And if you again, posing her next to Sadie. They really went out to make them different, and I appreciate that. And again, that's why you have the difference of face. So again, if you are thinking of getting Sin, thinking to swap Sadie's faceplate, you can't, unfortunately. Would I recommend buying her? I feel like of all the dolls, again, it's a choice of taste. I do love the girl dolls. I always have in Living Dead dolls. There are some boy dolls that I truly love. And again, with Damien, he was made well, don't get me wrong. I just felt like with Damien, like the hat, that really was a sticking point for me. Like, that's his thing. Why couldn't they make a hat that fits on his head? You know? And that's pretty much my biggest gripe with Damien, was that. But again, these dolls, wonderfully made. And honestly, it's a choice, of the style of doll you like. If you like overtly cutesy, like Sadie, like Eggy, heck, even Damien, he's a cute boy. But then you have, Sin that takes it to a different level. And like I said, I can't not have her in my collection along with the others. And again, I love the Sin character. So I don't mean to ramble, but I just, now that we're almost at the end of the Fab Five and Posey, who knows with the way things are going on with the tariffs, who knows how soon we're going to get Posey. But the release between Sin and Damien was very fast. Sadie was a whole year before Eggy came around. And then Sin and Damien were like a month apart, or 2 months apart. So very short. So I'm very happy that we didn't have to wait another 6 to 8 months to get Sin. I'm really happy she's in my collection. And I just think she's cute. And like I said, if she's not your cup of tea, it's understandable. Because remember, you got to look at it, depending on if you have a place to display her. I have a separate room, so I don't see these dolls every day. I have to walk to this room, which I will be doing a room video, I promise. I'm still fixing it. But like I said, I wouldn't mind looking at her. She's really cute, and like I said, her face has grown on me so much. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I didn't ramble too long. But I think she's great. And we'll see with Posey, who I'm not sure is coming, but we'll wait and see. And until next time, happy hunting.